Hello and welcome everybody to a new and exciting race for today. The first race we have is more of a focus on qualifying. It's the closest qualifying you can possibly have in Mexico. And the second race will be a race in Japan where we have to use a standard setup and we try to fight our way from the back. So this one, you can see that I've got a setup already customized for Mexico, but I'm going to crank up the front wing downforce, especially for the wet qualifying. I know that it's going to be a dry race, and one of the few things that you can change before the race is your front wing. So it's an easy change to make, and you'll see me switch it back later on in the video. So we got Prada in this lobby. I think we have Con as well, if I remember. Steve might be there. I'll check the leaderboards when they pop up there. But this is the closest qualifying that you can possibly have. And with Prada, he's incredibly quick, especially if nobody's around him to punt him off. A lot of his problems start when people are driving like absolute idiots. So we're really trying to get the pole away from him here. He's amazing on starts, and there's a really long run down to the first corner at this track in Mexico. So if he gets one of his standard, customary crazy starts, we will probably not be able to reel him in for the rest of the race. So this is the one corner where I think I might have lost time running a little wide through there. You really want to hug those two corners tight and apex both corners, kind of treat it like a double apex. We try to carry as much speed through this windy section. This is actually a spot where you can make back a lot of time, and I think I would have been a little bit further off the pace because of that last corner if I didn't clear that section as well. So down to the last section, the stadium section here, really tight, trying not to take too much curb because it's easy to get a disqualification from the qualifying down here. And just trying to weave our way through, not a lot of grip in the wet. This corner here, extremely important to apex and get the power down properly. More so in the race than qualifying just because of the length of that straight, but qualifying you still want to maximize your pace. And you can see just as I was getting to the line, the notification pops up that someone else had put in a faster lap, and this is the closest qualifying I've ever seen in this game. It's impossible to get any closer. When we look at the leaderboards here, yeah, 0.001. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And you can see it is Prada and Con is in the lobby, but Steve isn't here. So that answers that question. We'll go to the race here now. We won't follow it for too long. I absolutely goofed this race. This race did not go well, and you'll see why here in a moment. So, like we said, Prada with his amazing starts. Check out how far ahead he can get by the end of this straight. It's just incredible. Like I said in a previous video, thought I was pretty good at starts. This guy, he just blows it out of the water every time, and he doesn't seem to have a bad one. It can really impact your race, especially if you have a really poor qualifying. He can make up multiple places right off the bat. You can see we're jostling a little bit tight there. Tried to move around the outside and then tried to go to the inside the next corner, but not a lot of space to make the move, and he's able to hold us off. We're trying at this point to get ahead of the guy behind us. We get punted a little bit, but we do manage to hold the position. You can see he comes back at us at the double apexer there a little bit. Just wanted to show a quick clip of that, but he doesn't manage to make the move stick. We jump ahead to the third lap here. This is where the problem starts. It's unforgivable. Really what happened here, I turned in too early, I got the penalty, and then I totally goofed the strategy mentally. I thought that I would have enough distance to the guy behind that I would be able to stay behind Prada, and I at one point overtook him but gave him back the position because I had the 2-second penalty. If I'd kept going in front of him, I would have finished behind him, but at least I wouldn't have finished third. So here's the end of the race. You saw the 2-second penalty, and you can see we'll drop back to third. That's a massive brain fart, and that's unforgivable. Not only to goof the corner that hard, but then to also not calculate the guy behind's pace properly and lose the position at the end. So we go to Japan here now. You can see we joined the lobby a little late, and like Germany from yesterday, we're going as close to a standard setup as you can get. We get a good start here, especially compared to that Renault. Go right up against the wall to try to squeeze by him. We didn't get contact with the wall. I really thought I would. We do get contact from that fast Sauber going through the first corner here. Unavoidable, I think. I wasn't sure where he was going to go, and I tried to slow down as much as I could, and when I jumped to the outside, I just I couldn't make it in time. A guy goes off there through the first corner, and then you see a little synchronized dance move here with the Ferrari. I'd love to have a picture looking straight on at that with the two cars in opposite lock there. It was a good job by both of us, I think, not to crash, and I think I was a little too aggressive there and probably caused that situation. I'm sure the Ferrari driver would not be too happy with me after that one, but I think it would have been a pretty cool shot if you could go into photo mode or had a better replay system to be able to look at that in detail. So this race, once we get up to third, we're really just trying to put the pressure on, try to catch up to those front two. You can see that we have a pretty lucky race in a way, especially considering that we got through those first couple corners all right, and that we avoided that sliding Sauber. And we do get the benefit of a couple of driver errors. You can see when we're coming up through 130R, the Red Bull here starts to slow down pretty severely. I think that he got clipped and maybe spun or something, but we do close the ground on him there. And now it's about really trying to take that fight to him. So we don't have the advantage of DRS, so that closing capability of the DRS isn't available. So that sucks a little bit, but we're going to try to crank up the engine here a little bit, make up the ground. And luckily he decides to take the Colin McRae World Rally Championship line through that corner. It's not the most effective way to take a corner in F1 2018, but it does look quite nice. So try to get a good run here now. You can feel the first place coming, although he's a quick driver and he seems to be a decent way out in front. It's really hard to close up ground if a driver's talented around Japan, because it's not a great passing track, and it's like any corner here can catch you out at any given time. And he's looking pretty solid for the most part, you know, we're not really getting too much. This turn here, the hairpin, I think it's Spoon. I'll usually take a wide line like that through just to carry more speed. They mentioned that in the career mode, that you can kind of take it like the carousel at the Nordschleife, and you will be able to carry a little bit more speed around it. I find for the most part that's true. It does invite people up the inside though, and like you saw with Sebastian Vettel last season, that is not a corner that you can usually make it up the inside. So you can see first place is Bindit, and again there's the lucky race we were talking about. I don't think we would have been able to catch him if it weren't for that. And we're just going to stick with this lap here. This was a pretty quick lap. Coming through the first corner, you can see we got that fastest lap earlier, but we're really carrying a lot of speed, and this is probably my best lap of the day of any track. You can see keeping that line as yellow as possible all the way through and trying to carry a lot of speed. It feels smooth, but it feels fast, and when you're smooth and on the limit, that's when you know you're going to have a pretty quick lap. As we come up to the end of the first sector here, I think we're about 3-4 tenths up on our fastest lap so far, and we just try to carry that pace. Take a little bit of curb around Degner too. That one is another one that can catch you out easily. Again, you'll see a wider line through the Spoon corner and trying to get that speed going down this straight here. You're really trying to build up as much speed as possible and carry the maximum amount of it through this final hairpin. Because this connects to relatively straight parts of the circuit, it's a really important corner. You want to carry more speed through the first one than the second one. It's almost like the reverse of the last two corners in Austria, where in Austria you want to brake more for the first one to carry more speed through the second. That one you want to carry more speed through the first and really observe the braking zone for the second one. So flat out around 130R, slowing down for the hairpin, or not the hairpin, the chicane here, over the bump. That one will catch you out. I've been flung off by that bump before, and it can really surprise you when you're not expecting it. So you see that fastest lap there. We're going to go right to the end here now. Nothing exciting happened for the rest of the race. It was really just finish it up, drive it home, try not to bin it. A little bit of track extension there, which is not what you want. That's an easy corner to get the extensions on. So we're going to leave it here for today, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try to keep up with these regular daily videos, and hopefully that goes as planned. They probably won't be all majorly exciting, but we'll hope for the best. Thanks, and have a great day.